Hello and welcome to Howls Moving Castle. This is my final build as part of the Conquest Minecraft challenge, a competition run between the Yogscast and Sony. Now they wanted us to build an epic base, so here is my attempt at it. So let's have a look round, shall we? We begin off with the Dwarven Fortress. There are many aspects here that are inspired from both Erebor and Moria from Lord of the Rings. So the exterior is more like Erebor with the castle battlements, whilst the inside is more like Moria with the pillars that go up forever into the darkness. As you can see, the atmosphere in here is quite dark, so for lighting I have used lava in the columns and the smeltery in the background, as well as the glowstone blocks in the columns above. I did this because I didn't want the room to be too dark, as this building is the main hub of the build, where lots of the other structures are attached to. For example, you can go to Duncans Castle or the Mushroom. But for now, we'll have a look at Duncans Castle. As you can see, there are some windows that link out into the room. Like all the buildings on this build, every interior is fully decorated. So for Duncan we have armour and a wand, as well as some scientific equipment or instruments displayed. And in this building you will see lots and lots of bookcases. Now this is because Duncan's a scientist and he needs to read a lot. In the second floor we've got the alchemy lab. So we have the brewing stands, the cauldrons, the enchanting tables, as well as some fresh ingredients that are still growing by the window. These can be used for potions or experiments. And we go up the next floor, which is more of a reading room, some more bookcases and a balcony. But this door leads off to the outer building, which has an enchanting table and some bookcases in it. So we'll go back now and up the stairs, where we go across the balcony up 2 more floors. So this is the first floor, and then we go up again. Now this floor is special because this one leads off to the balcony. Now on this balcony Duncan can grow hops or any sorts of herbs or spices or any sorts of fruits or vegetables he likes, as well as adjust the satellite dish if it ever becomes out of alignment. So as we go back in, we'll keep going upwards. This floor is more like his laboratory, so it's got 3 different tiers. The first one here is, like any good scientist, has a bed inside his own laboratory, as well as a small chest. And upwards we got the area where he can access the telescope that's on the outside of the building. And here are the controls that he can use to control the telescope. So instead of going downstairs, we'll skip and fly down the banisters. Now we're going to be off to Sipsco. And of course, like any good dirt manufacturer, he builds from what he makes. So as you can see, the factory is made from bits of dirt. And here's the factory floor. The smeltery where the dirt is made, liquefied into the boiler at the back, and then goes through to the furnace, where it dries out on the conveyor belt and around to go out of the chute. It's of course filled with chests as well to fill any of the products. But I'm not too sure, because Sipsco is a bit of a haphazard company, I think they forgot where the dirt is actually going to go to. So as you can see, it's flying off the edge of the pig. And from here you can also have a look at the Hat Films homes. Now we're going to go off down to the back garden. Now this is a nice little porch area where all the members of the Yogscast can hang out and chill. maybe play some board games or just sit down and cozy up by the fire. Includes a small bar with some bottles where you can go in and serve drinks, as well as some bar stools made from pistons. Now from here we can go up to several routes. One on the right that goes up and around, the one from Sipsco, which we just come from, and there's another entrance to Erebor from here. But we'll come around and go to the more natural side of the building, which is this area with the tree. This route is a little hazardous, so make sure you don't drink too much before coming this way. It's a bit of a drop. So I walk up this alleyway, up and around and through, back into the Dwarven Fortress, which is through this tunnel here. That's another pathway that goes up to the top, but we'll come back to that later. But for now, we're going to come up and look at the main balcony that overlooks the Dwarven Fortress. Now from here you can fight off any dragons or just have a look at the landscape ahead. So now we're going to come down here and go to the tree house. From here you can see the top of Zoe's mushroom, as well as the top of Rivian's castle. But we're going to go through this tree house first. So at the top of the tree house we have where Martin would be. So we'll use these iconic green carpet, as well as paintings, beds, workshops, chests, all the essentials that you need to live up in the top of this tree. This is a very natural building because Martin is known for his love of saplings and all things natural and organic. But as we go up further, we're going to head towards Hannah's house. Hannah loves owls, but she loves one in particular, Mr. Owl. So I've designed a house very similar to his design. But like all the houses, I've done the interior, using her pink banner colour, as well as using bookcases and all the usual decorative items to make the room seem more habitable and livable. So here's the bedroom. We have some rather tall windows, so you might need a stool or just to jump every now and again to look outside. But it allows some natural daylight into the room. From here we're going to fly over to Shin's house. For Shin, I have built this windmill with surrounding wheat fields. Next door we can see the runway with ridge dogs playing across the way, but we'll have a look at that later. Inside of Shin's house we have a small little kitchen with a fridge, a sink and an oven. And across from the hall we have a sitting area, or maybe even a dining room. Upstairs we come towards the study, where you can sit down, have a read and relax after a long day of farming. And through here we've got another balcony where Shin can look over towards his land and keep an eye on those pesky hat boys. Make sure they're not scourging his lands. You can keep an eye on the wheat field as well from here. So we go upwards now into Shin's bedroom. It's quite small, but it's got a nice little bed and some bedside tables, as well as some nice windows outside. And the final floor is this room. That is the main grinding machine that is linked to the blades outside. As you saw, this column goes all the way down to the ground floor. So this would mean that Shin can make flour or grind up any excess fruit or vegetables. Maybe not a good idea, but he can do it if he needs to. But across from Shin's house, we have the all-important Gnarlsy Pool Shack. Now this place would be ideal to sell portable pools, so where else would you set up a shack? And up from here we have Ridge's Plain. Now Ridge Dog flies everywhere, so why wouldn't his house do as well? It's a nice little yellow plain. And talking of flying, we're going to fly over to the Hatfilms houses. Their houses are designed like top hats, each with a different way of getting around. This is the first house. As you can see, it's decorated with bookshelves and all the essentials that you need, as well as some chairs and some nice windows that overlook the landscape and the castle. The second house is more like a hot air balloon, so it has the fire up the top to lift up the balloon, as well as a little basket. The third and final one has this big propeller. This is more of the science building, so it has all the alchemy tables and bookshelves and anvils and armour sets. And a nice red carpet as well, that really goes well with the black walls. So after we fly back over to the island, we're going to have a nice little visit to Kim's house. Kim really loves Asian architecture, and especially the ones in Japan where she visited recently. And because of her real life love of growing vegetables in her garden, I've also included a small patch. Now, as Kim is quite small in stature, her house is also, including dark elements of her personality and the taint that is surrounding her lands. So as we come out of Kim's house, we're going to go into the boiler room. A lot of the houses are connected to the boiler room, as you'll see. So we come in here, and here is the main boiler room. We'll have a closer look at it later on, but from here you can see how this is the main heart of the build, with lots of different routes that connect to it. We're going to head over to Rivian's castle. This building has a lot of the portals in it, so nether portals and a portal to the end, as well as a balcony. And of course, connected to Rivian's castle, we head over to Zoe's mushroom. Zoe is well known for her love of all things mushroom, so I've built a giant one just for her and for her girlfriend Fiona. So on the ground floor we have a rainbow carpet, which I think matches her personality brilliantly. As we come up the spiral staircase, try not to get dizzy. This is the main room. This can be used as like a science base, or maybe even the base of time travel operations, with some armour sets and some ingredients, bookshelves and a small little bedroom over at the top here. And from here we can go outside, where we'll see the top of Rivian's castle again. We're going to head back into the boiler room now and go on to Panda's house. In Panda's Minecraft series, he was based in like an Easter Island head, so instead of that I've built a panda head, which comes along with a bamboo garden. So inside of the head we have the basic decorations inside, beds, bookshelves, chests, as well as a window that goes out into the outside. And here's Panda's armour, which is just a pair of golden trousers. And now we'll head down to the ground floor of the boiler room. This boiler room is the heart of the machine, so this is where all the steam is made to make all the mechanisms move. So along the left we have the long furnaces that heat up the water that comes from these large water tanks. And after the steam is heated up, it goes into this huge heart-like pump that moves the engine over here and up through the pistons above that will move the propeller at the back. So as we leave the boiler room, we head towards the control room. Mid-launch in the control room, we have Lewis's rocket. This was inspired by his love of science and all things spacey. So inside you can see how many controls there are, with all the buttons and levers, as well as nice seats so that you're nice and safe during the launch. At the front of the control room, we have all the control seats and buttons and computer labs that will control the movement and direction of the pig. If the boiler room was the heart of the machine, this control room would be the brain. And there we have a large monitor where they can view out to where they're going. That above it needs the balcony that goes on to the Dwarven Fortress again. And of course the boiler room down below. So at the front of the building we have 2 pools, one either side, and as you can see we have a bit of a squid infestation. No matter how many times you've killed them, they keep coming back. But you can also see the control room and the silo doors that are opening. And that's just about everything. I hope you enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more about how I built this, I've made a full Let's Build series. You can find the link in the description or at the end of the video. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye!